Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another Battle to the Death for you. Today, we have a bit of sibling rivalry for you. We have the Ritter RSK MK1-G2, long name, made by Hogue, versus the Hogue Deka. Both of these knives, very, very similar in price. You're looking at it almost exactly, is enough to not matter. 140 bucks. Both 20 CV, both made by Hogue, both made in the USA, both very lightweight EDC knives. This is one you guys asked for, and I think it's a very good one to compare. As always, I do want to thank Southern Edge Knife Works at southernedgeknifeworks.com. Go there, use the code SDSEK at checkout. You get 15% off and free shipping. Very much appreciate their sponsorship of these battles to the death, and this is a perfect example of why I use them and why they help us out. My Hogue Deka, which you're going to see shortly, didn't really fit with this because it comes in different options, and my option didn't really compare as well to the RSK. So I asked for a plain one. They got me one. And here we go. Bob's your uncle. Now you have a battle to the death. So that's how they help us out here. So go support them. We really, really do appreciate them very, very much. Chad and Garrett and all the people down there. Awesome people. Great to deal with. Okay, let's get going. How do these things work? Same as usual, we have the same 7 categories as always: design and aesthetics, quality, blade, ergonomics, carry, deployment, and value. Got all my fingers on the screen even. We give a point for each one of those 7 categories. At the end, we add them up, we pick a winner. Both of these made in the same factory, both have the exact same locking mechanism. There's going to be some ties in this one. Just letting you know. Just be forewarned, there's going to be some ties. I know people get upset when there's ties, but when they're made in the same place, there's going to be ties. That's just how it goes. Now let's talk about each knife individually very briefly, and then I will do some stats. We will start out with the Deka. So the Hogue Deka was released last year at Blade Show. They showed up with a few prototypes. Kind of surprised a lot of us, and it's just been a very well-received knife for very, very good reason. It's just a great EDC size. You're looking at 3 1/4 inch blade. We'll do all the stats here in just a moment, but and very lightweight, about 2.6. What did I weigh it at? 2.5 ounces. I'm sorry, 2.63 ounces I weighed it at, and it's just been a really nice knife to have around. I own one myself. This is the one that I own. They do come in different blade shapes. This is the blue lava pattern with the modified Wharncliffe. They're just really good knives, very well received, very well built, and it's kind of brought Hogue into... I know Hogue's always been, like, people have known about it, but I know Blade HQ did a video a while ago about, like, the best knife company you don't know about. I think the Deka has single-handedly made them much more well-known. That and the Ritter, the other knife you're going to see here. I think that people now have Hogue on the radar, and you should. Great company. They are primarily known previously for making gun grips and things like that, and toilet seats, which is interesting. But they make some really cool stuff, but now their knives have really stepped up a notch, especially with this Able lock that we'll be talking about extensively later. Their knives have just really stepped it up, and I'm really liking this, and I'm hoping to have one of their automatics on here very soon as well. They make some great, great stuff and really cool company, but the Deka is really kind of, I feel, put them on the map lately. Now, the Mini-RSK, obviously, as the name would indicate, it's a mini version of the RSK, which again was pretty universally loved. Doug Ritter did this design with Benchmade for a long time, this general sort of shape, and now it's moved on to Hogue. Benchmade no longer does it, and it's great to see them back again. As soon as the full size came out, I mean, I think, you know, before the boxes shipped, people were asking about when are we going to get a mini, when are we going to get a mini, when are we going to get a mini, and now we have it. These are sold exclusively through KnifeWorks, but I would hardly call them like a limited edition or anything like that. I think at the time I'm recording this, these are all on pre-order. They do sell out fairly quick sometimes, but usually that's only like the first run, and then they're just in stock. Like the full-size one, not at all hard to get your hands on. And it is a just very classic, simple design. I love the blade on this thing, and this starburst pattern is kind of a new thing to give you a little bit more grip. And the old Ritter Griptilians, you know, it had the grippy stuff, so they kind of carried it over here in a more modernized, prettier way, I guess is the best way to say that. But yeah, great addition. And anytime you buy one of these Ritters, portion of the proceeds go to Knife Rights, kniferights.org. Doug Ritter runs that. It's a great organization, helps us fight stupid knife laws that don't let us carry stuff that we're not allowed to carry. I live in New York, so I very much appreciate their efforts, because we do have quite a few laws up here. They're tools. They're fine. And he's very good at promoting that for us and helping us keep our rights. So even if you don't buy one of these and let a portion of the proceeds go there, go to kniferights.org and donate some money. He has really awesome giveaways and stuff there too once a year. I think that's still going on right now, actually, at the time I'm recording this. So go check that out. Now let's get to some stats for you. We'll start out with the RSK. I'm not saying that whole name every time, guys. I'm sorry. We have 1-inch squares here, so we're going to line them up so you can take a look-see. But we have a blade length of 2.9 inches, an overall length of 6.9 inches. You have a blade thickness, again, at 0.10 inches, handle thickness of 0.52 inches, and a weight, according to my scales, of 2.67 ounces. And now on to the Deka. A little bit longer knife. You have a blade length of 3 1/4 inches, an overall length of 7.5 inches, blade thickness the same at 0.10 inches, handle thickness a little bit thinner at 0.44 inches, and a weight, according to my scales, of 2.63 ounces. All right, now let's get on to the scoreable categories. So, design and aesthetics. This is definitely the most subjective category. I always say that up front. So if you want to disagree with me on something, this is the one that's the perfect one to disagree with me on, because this is beauty's in the eye of the beholder, all those old cliches. I don't know if it's just that I'm used to seeing the Ritter a lot, because the old Benchmade one did look a lot like this. There are definitely differences, but I'm just kind of used to seeing it. Maybe that's why. I just like the overall shape of the Deka a little bit better. The Mini comes in an orange handle or a black handle. I don't believe they have the coated handles yet. I didn't see that on the site at the moment. Maybe they do and I missed it. I know they did do a coated, not coated handles, coated blade. I know they did that in the large one. I'd expect to see it in this, but I haven't seen it yet. You do have that in the Hogue. You also have a lot more scale options. For example, mine is, the lava blue. You get different blade options. You have a modified Wharncliffe. You have the clip point. I'm comparing these two because they are the most common ones, so that's why I wanted to get the common plain one instead of my crazy one. And then but you just have a lot more different scale colors. You have a lot of these lava patterns, and you can get coated blades and all that. It is a bit screw-tastic, I will say that. It does just seem like maybe 1 or 2 of those screws could go away, but then when you look at the construction of it, maybe not. But anyway, that's a complaint people have a lot. Sometimes they just say it's got too many screws. So I'm still going to give it to the Deka, though. I just think you get a lot more options, and it's just a new shape instead of one that I'm used to seeing. So I think that's why. I think I'm just more used to seeing that Ritter shape, so that's probably why I feel that way. Blade. This one was a toughie, I have to say, because they're both 20 CV. They're both the same heat treat, which is excellent. They both come with those excellent Hogue edges. If you've never seen a Hogue factory edge in person, they are fantastic. They all are hand sharpened there at the factory, and they're just really, really well done. They're both really excellent slicers, but I have to give it to the Ritter. I almost called it a tie because on the Hogue, you have 2 choices. You've got the standard clip point or the modified Wharncliffe. That's very Elishewitz looking. And obviously, this is mine. I like the Warney. But I think the sales percentage is vastly higher with the clip point to the Warney, so that's why I went with this one for the comparison. Almost the exact same thickness behind the edge. It was 24 thousandths versus 25 thousandths. But the Ritter has a higher grind, which makes it an ever so slightly better slicer. They're both excellent. We're talking degrees of excellence here, so they're both really good slicers. But I think the final thing at the end was, these are pretty thin blades. You're not going to do a whole lot. Because that's one of the things about the Mini-RSK, by the way, is they didn't just scale down the length of it. They scaled down the blade thickness, all kinds of stuff. It's not, and I like when companies do that, but they still retained a pretty good beefy tip there you can do some stuff on. So this isn't quite as thin as it looks because there's a swedge there. There actually is a fairly decent amount of steel up there. It's not as dainty as it looks, but the RSK still has a tip that I feel a bit more confident doing stupid things with for a blade this thin. But yeah, very, very, very slight win on the blade to the Ritter. Ergonomics. I'm going to go with I have to go with the Deka, and it's not just because it's slightly larger. I do have fairly big hands, skinny fingers, but I have a normal human-sized palm, but I do wear large-sized gloves. It's not because of fitting all 4 fingers on. I can definitely fit all 4 fingers on the RSK, no problem whatsoever. You can see, still plenty of room left. Even more on the Deka, yes, but the final thing is I like the contoured handles on this. It is super grippy, maybe a bit too grippy for a lot of people, I think, because, you know, the Griptilian had all this texturing. They tried to do kind of a modernized version of that, and they did a great job. It is very grippy. It might be just a bit too much for me, and the pocket clip it comes with does cause a bit of a hot spot. It's just, it could be shorter, ramped different. I don't know. There is an easy solution. I popped one on here for a bit. I did have a Benchmade clip that's meant for the bug out, and it worked great. These are Benchmade hole patterns, so plenty of aftermarket clip options available for you, which is a really good thing. But I found that then it landed on an even rougher part of the handle, made it a bit of a pocket destroyer, so I went back to the standard clip. May switch back again. I don't know. We'll see. That's an easy problem to fix. You just sand down the spot where it lands. But yeah, I have to give it to the Deka though. The Deka just has no issues. That has an issue. Yeah, even though the scales aren't contoured and it's not as grippy, but it's still plenty grippy enough. I don't think either one of these are going to go flying out of your hand unexpectedly. I have to give ergonomics to the Deka. As far as the quality goes, I accidentally skipped over that one because it's a tie. Yeah, they're both made in the exact same factory, the exact same parts. Hogue is extremely consistent with their quality, so it's unsurprising that both of these are pretty much. I mean, I can't tell a difference. They're both exactly the same quality wise. Both no lock, no lock rock, no blade play. Both perfectly centered. Both excellent. Yeah. It's a tie, obviously. They're both made in the same place and same lock system and everything, so really nothing to tell much there. As far as the carry goes, this one is also one that is very, very close. Here's the Ye New Levi's. They have not become Ye Old Levi's yet. Got my pocket all screwed up there. The RSK, you have that nice deep carry clip. Not much sticking out at all. It does have a big logo on it if that bothers you. So does the Deka, but I don't mind it. Got the little Doug Ritter logo on it. Very easy to get your hand past. Very lightweight. I will say that you do get a little bit of that. I don't think it's a pocket destroyer with the stock clip anyway. It does land in one of the smoother spots there, and it's fine. It's not going to like ruin your pants, but it does grab a little bit, but not too bad. On the Deka, I guess I can call it a Hogue since that's technically a Ritter, but no deep carry clip, no options to do so. That's what's nice. You can just put any old Benchmade clip on this. You find one that hits right, and it works for you. Bob's your uncle. But this is a little thinner in the pocket, almost exactly the same weight, not enough to matter. But I don't know, just that pocket clip doesn't feel as secure. A lot of people really dislike the pocket clip on these. I don't. You can put a ZT pocket clip on this. So there are deep carry pocket clip options for this, but you can't use the screws that it comes with. If you put a deep carry clip on it, these screws stick up too high. When I had a deep carry clip on my other one, I used Benchmade screws because they fit in and they were lower profile. These are just too high, so if you have a loop over clip, it's going to catch, and that's no good for anybody, especially these really big squared off screws. So it's a bit harder to get an aftermarket clip for it, and it didn't sit all the way down in these cutouts. It didn't sit quite perfectly, so that's why I went back to the standard one. The standard clip doesn't drive me nuts or anything. I do wish it was a little bit beefier, and I just wish there was a more deep carry options, or it just came with one period, because a lightweight knife like this, I think it's nice to have it be deep carry. So got to give the win in the carry to the RSK. Yes, it is a bit harder to slide in and out of the pocket, but not dramatically so. And I like this pocket clip a lot better. Feels a lot more secure, and it's deep carry. Deployment. Both of these running on Able locks, which I think Hogue did a great job of making the old Benchmade access lock that's no longer patented better. I think these both have. I definitely prefer the Able lock to your average access lock. Both of them have pretty lightweight blades. So the effort required to do all the fun able lock, access lock thingies are the same. Thumb studs are pretty equal to access. You can see where this is going. This is going to be another tie. The action on them is pretty much identical. This one's broken in a little bit more than that, but both these are pretty new, so pretty even Stevens there. Got to give a tie on the deployment as well. Value. This one's tough because they're both exactly the same price. They're both $140. So you're getting a bit less material, I guess, in the RSK, but not even really that. You're getting maybe less blade, but there's probably more G10 in here. I don't know. This looks more complicated to mill. You can only get these at Knife Works, but again, they're pretty readily available. Normally I put a ding on, for knives that are hard to get, but I don't think this is really that much harder to get. You can just only go one place, but that place usually has them. I don't think they do at the moment, but it's because the first run sold out, and if the full size is any indication, first run sells out quick, and then they're just around. So that's probably what will happen here. I am going to give just the slightest little, barely nudge, though, in value to the Ritter because a portion of the proceeds go to Knife Rights. So that's the final decision for me. Is just this thing that pushes over the edge. They're both very equal in construction, but yeah, you're giving money to a good cause. If you're a knife guy and you really want, to help support him, which you should, I have to give a slight rub to the Ritter in that. So where does that leave us? That leaves us at a score of 3-2 and 2 ties for the RSK as our winner. All that said, I like them both. I have no desire to get rid of either of them. As a matter of fact, this is, my Deka, and now I'm kind of thinking, like, do I need 2 Dekas? Maybe I do. I don't know. I really like the Deka a whole lot. I think personally, as far as like the categories that are important to me, I probably slightly prefer the Deka, but that value category is what pushes over the edge. So I'm going to stick by it. That's what the scoring says. Is the RSK is definitely the better knife, is just because of that value category, and it's given some money to. It's a better purchase, I guess. That's a better way to put it. It's barely a better knife, but it's definitely, I think, maybe a better purchase because it's helping out the knife community. So with that rambling conclusion, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.